Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Okay, so today inshallah we will have another short class, probably up to about 10 plus lah sikit je. Alright, so today I hope to cover at least about at most 2 to 3 chapters only. Okay, and these are all small chapters. So based on these chapters, I will give you some um, within dalam maybe tomorrow or Tuesday. I will give you some case study questions for you to go through, and we might what do you say? We might discuss them in the next following class when we come back from our break. Okay, so these are some what we target for today. All right. So yesterday, Alhamdulillah, we have done a bit of introduction about this course. We have also covered chapter 1, which is also about this course, and we have also covered chapter 2, talking about sources of innovation. Today, we will continue about patterns of innovation, timing. We have also touched about timing yesterday, but today we'll go in a bit more detail, and we will see how much that we can cover today. All right, so that is what we have done so far. Okay, let me just give you an overview of what we are going to cover in this chapter 3. Okay, so chapter 3, we are going to look at types and patterns of innovation. What are the types of innovation which were available or which has been done throughout history? Okay, and we are going to talk some of the projects, innovation projects, which was done and which was successful in the beginning and not successful in the end. Um, and we are also going to highlight some types of innovation, because most people think that innovation is a product, but actually in the business environment, innovation can also mean the process itself. So process itself can be a type of innovation. Okay? And then we are going to highlight about the S curve. Okay, the S curve is a very important diagram that you need to understand, you need to know, because we can use this S curve for many types of scenarios. And we are also going to look at certain types of case studies, questions, and we are looking at theories of action, and we are also going to look at certain types of questions that we can answer in this chapter. Okay, let's begin with chapter 3. Okay, so when we talk about innovation, okay, so as I highlighted to you yesterday, you are all now working for you are all now the top managers of the business transformation unit. You are now looking at transforming your business. You are now looking at how your business, your organization can come up with new process, new products. So you need to look at types of what types of pattern or what types of innovation can be implemented, okay, in your organization. So let's just take an example of this. So this was an innovation project done in India, whereby um, this company decided to make smaller, cheaper refrigerators, because the folks in the rural area, they were unable to buy refrigerators, so all their food, their vegetables were all going bad, and to buy fridge they had no money and it was cost expensive. So they came out with a type of innovation, a product that they will lower the cost of a fridge to be sold to them. So yes, initially, it was a very good product, because it uses portable battery, and everything was fine. Okay, and they were able to sell it to multiple market segments. So what do you mean by multiple market segments? Because initially they targeted only the poor. If you read on this case study, they targeted on the poor. Yes, so the poor did buy it, but over time, the poor thought that no, actually they don't need this fridge, because yes, it's nice, it's colorful, it's cheap, but they don't need this because they are already comfortable with their lifestyle. they're already comfortable with the way they live, they're already comfortable by how they catch fish and use it immediately. So this product did not sell well over time with the poor. But surprisingly, over time, this product sold well with the rich because they were thinking, oh, this is what we need. The rich thought, hey, we need a smaller fridge, we need a colorful fridge, and which can be brought anywhere, which can be put in any part of the house. So, although the product started for the poor, but over time, it actually went to the rich. And so this is what we say as the theory of disruptive, whereby the initial innovation, which restricts innovation efforts to a particular group of people or a particular group specific solution for a technology. That means disruptive means you are not looking at the you're not looking to solve the world's problem, but you're only looking at a particular point of view only. Okay, Uber, Grab also falls on the theory of disruptive because they are only looking at part of the problem: transportation, food panda, Grab food, food distribution. They're only looking at part of that. So that is what we say as theory of disruptive. So this company looked at only one problem, one side of it, because they wanted to provide fridge for the poor. So back to your organization. So when you are in this kind of environment, you need to consider what would be the best innovation to help your organization to be at the competitive advantage. Okay, so how would your organization benefit from this? What do you say? This product. So these are some types of questions that we question in this innovation. But I would like to bring your attention to question number 5. What other products might the lesson of Godger learn from So Tukal apply to? So let me just answer this question myself, because this product initially were targeted for the poor, but over time the poor thought that okay, the poor thought that is not unnecessary, so this product went on to the rich. So that's why in any types of innovation, any types of process innovation or product innovation, it must be well thought through, and it should be it should be scalable. That means, yes, uh, it's for it's what you say. It's targeted at one group of people, but it can be used for other groups of people as well. Okay, but there's also a setback. Sometimes, like in this case, they were lucky lah orang when the poor did not want to buy, but the rich bought it. But there will be cases in your when you do anything, it will not sell, it will not go. That means you cannot sell to the rich, neither you can sell to the poor. So that is a big disadvantage as well. So having said that, there should be when your organization embarks on any types of innovation, it must be well thought through. That means you must have data from the previous years and what is the coming years, how is the market going to be. So these are the things that you need to understand. So let's talk about product versus process. So product innovation are embodied in the outputs of an organization, its good or services. Process innovation are innovations in which the way an organization conducts its business, such as techniques of producing or market goods or services. Okay, so if you look at process, that means you can take, for example, Proton. When they make cars, it goes through certain process. That means it has to be done in process A, B, C, D until the car comes. That is a process innovation. But when you look at the product, the car itself is a product. Okay, so some organizations can go for product in terms of goods and services. Some organization looks at process, but process is mainly or focused internally. Okay, internal within the organization. It can be replicated outside, but its mainly or its first target is to have it inside the organization. Okay, so product innovation can enable process, yes. So when you have a good product, this will then enable a good process. So in government offices, we have KIK. So KIK is more of the process innovation, because as you know, government offices, we have a lot of bureaucracy that you have to submit your documents to A, and then B, and then C, and then D. So now when you have this process innovation, you can bypass certain categories of, or maybe you can do it concurrently. So these are process innovations. So for banking industry, it goes under product innovation. Each time they come up with a new product, each time they come up with a new, let's say they have a new mobile app, or they have a new website, or they have a new promotion. Those are goods and services. So those are what we say is a product innovation. No, or maybe if like Arash, he's doing what is he doing? He's doing wiring services. Okay, he has his own company, so he can come up with goods and services. Because he is providing wiring service, so he can come up with a new product. That means if you employ him as your contractor, you can get this and this and this, or not everything will be fixed at one price. So those are product innovation. Okay, so what is product innovation for organization might be a process innovation for another. True. For example, UPS creates a new distribution service that enables its customer to distribute their goods more widely or more easily. Okay, let me ask siapa yang ada kucing semalam tu, lupa dah. Apa Rashidah, apa nama dia?
Rashika.
Rashika. Can you hear me, Rashika?
Boleh doktor, saya.
Okay. Cuba jawab soalan nombor, bagi saya example soalan nombor ni, 1, 2, 3, 4. Point number 4 ni. What is a product innovation for one organization might be a process innovation for another? Cuba fikirkan, what example can it be in this? That means, untuk satu company, it's a product innovation, but satu lagi company ambil benda tu jadikan dia process innovation. Can you think of any company yang macam ni sekarang? The easiest that we can come up to you can come up with.
Not that I think of lah doktor sekarang ni.
Okay. Think of pernah dengar Uber kan? I'm sure you pernah dengar Uber. Okay.
Tapi dah tak ada sekarang kan Uber doktor?
Uber tak ada, betul. But okay, so Uber is product innovation lah, because it comes out with product and services lah, goods and services. They provide transportation service lah. But hasil daripada Uber tu terciptalah banyak proses-proses innovation. Okay, Grab pun tercipta based on Uber, because Grab also uses the same flow lah as how Grab Uber does it. Dia tak cipta benda baru, it's the same je. So we can say product innovation, Uber was the first product innovation, but over time it became a process for others. Grab took the same flow. Siapa lagi? Gojek took the same, dengan Gojek kan, Indonesia. Gojek took the same flow. Foodpanda took the same flow. Lalal Move took the same flow. Bungkus Eat took the same flow. Everyone took the same flow, same product, and became a process pula. So that is why sometimes one product innovation can become a process untuk yang lain. So in this case, it has been proven lah. Uber was a very good first product. Okay, first product innovation. Memang tak ada siapa pernah terfikir pasal benda tu. And now it became another process innovation pula. Sama juga macam maybe we can use the example of Netflix. Product innovation. Okay. And then tapi ada dalam next chapter saya can explain more about Netflix, but we can use Netflix for the time being. Netflix was a product innovation. So a process innovation siapa? Disney on Ice pula. Apa Disney apa tu? Disney
Hotstar.
Hotstar. Tahu aja. Disney tu. So it's the same thing je, dia replicate balik produk tadi. Only dia fokus dalam benda-benda lain lah, tapi dia replicate benda yang sama lah. It's the same thing juga. You tengok, you watch movies on Netflix, for a certain price. Sama juga you watch movies on Disney for a certain price, tapi focusing on a different type of movie. So it's a process for them already. Okay, so it can be a product for one, and obviously it can be a process for another one. Okay, some you can go for radical innovation. Radical maksud dia hari ni buat lain, esok buat lain. Totally change, radical. Some it can be a incremental. That means over time, perubahan itu berlaku over time. Okay, kalau maksud dia kalau macam Kodak, yang example yang beri, Kodak dulu pakai negatif. But for them, if they were to go digital, it's a radical lah, because it's over. Tak boleh lah macam wow tiba-tiba je pergi pada this one. But untuk Sony, untuk yang lain-lain company, it's okay because they started with digital film, and then over time dia orang increase lah, mungkin the number of pixels ke, the quality ke, but it's the same juga. Okay, sama juga macam Proton. Okay, they started with Proton Saga, and then over time dia naik lah. Okay, different types of cars, different performance of the car, but it's incremental lah. It's incremental. Okay, it's not a radical change. Okay, some yes, there are certain companies which go for radical change. Over time, hari ni dia jual ni, esok dia jual tu. Gardenia can be considered, one product of Gardenia can be considered as a radical change. Gardenia dulu buat roti kan, dulu dan sekarang dan selamanya buat roti, but their radical product is the mi kuning tu. That is a radical product. That is a radical innovation by them. Okay, hari ni buat roti, esok suddenly buat mi kuning. So that is a radical. So some organizations, it can go for radical change. That means over time you just hari ni buat ni, esok tukar juga. Okay, if your business is doing wiring service, tomorrow you're doing aircon service. Okay, that might be incremental because it's in the same line of work. But if you're doing a wiring service today and tomorrow you're doing plumbing service, then we say that's a radical change lah. It's over, tiba-tiba you buat, okay? Or maybe you change job, so that is also what we say is a radical change. So a radical innovation in companies can be a product or services that just change over time. Just change overnight. Okay, change overnight. So when you implement radical changes in your organization, you have to consider so many things, because again, you're talking about a radical. That means hari ni ada, esok tak ada. So you have to consider what do you have, the number of staffs you have, the expertise that you have, okay, and how are you willing to take the risk. But if it's incremental, it's okay, because over time you belajar, company you akan belajar. Over time you buy this, over time so those are radical incremental innovation. Okay, some types of innovation, you have competence enhancing. That means innovation built on the firm's existing knowledge base. Macam tadilah Sony tadi tu. So they started with digital, they moved naik. Sama juga dengan Sony. Okay, they started with something and then they something else. Okay, or sometimes it is a competence destroying. For example, electronic calculators rendered by Koffel and his slide ruler, expertise obsolete. Okay, dengan gambar ni. Okay, so these two guys ni, Koffel and Esther, slide ruler expertise ni. Okay, this is for engineering punya calculator. It's obsolete now. No one do it because ada innovation baru masuk. Okay, so sometimes your innovation by company can just destroy somebody else. Okay, people don't use it anymore. Macam TV lah. Okay, now everyone is using flat screen. Nobody is using TV yang bulat tu. Kalau ada pun dah nyawa-nyawa ikan lah kot. Okay, it's obsolete already. Nobody is using house phone, or nobody is using phone yang pusing-pusing tu. Nobody is using that anymore because it's obsolete. Okay, new technology has come. Okay, and then we can also look at component innovation, changes to one or more components of the product. Okay, so component, that means you have the product but you add on sedikit. Example yang dia beri ni basikal. Okay, kerusi basikal tu. Okay, they add more gel so that it's much more comfortable. Okay, so these are components. That means you have the same thing but you add on. Okay, telephone. Okay, add-on component, camera lagi jelas. Okay, maybe the speakers in the phone is much more clearer, the mic is much more clearer. It's the same phone, but additional components are added to make it more sustainable. Architectural innovation, overall design. Okay, for example, transition of high wheel bicycle to safety bicycle. Okay, so you have this, yang dulu orang pakai kerusi yang tinggi-tinggi, basikal yang berkerusi tinggi. Now it goes down, basikal yang biasa lah. Okay, so these are architecture. So you change how the architecture of the bicycle looks. It's not component. Kalau component, the actual what do you say? The actual design of the component, the actual design is still there, but you just add on certain additional functions. Laptops, these are also, or desktops, these are also what we say as transition architectural innovation. Okay, from big desktops you have smaller ones, you have high performance one. Okay, so you change it. Okay, and then you go down to laptop, you have desktop, laptop, all those iPads and all those. So it's just architectural innovation, right? Okay, so over time, as the performance goes up and the effort if your company puts more effort, then it will go up here. So this is called the technology S curve. Okay, it's called the S curve. Kenapa? Sebab muka dia punya rupa dia macam S lah. So as technology improves slowly at first because it's poorly understood, okay, then it accelerates as understanding increases. Then tapers off approaches is going up and it comes here when everyone is at the limit. Sama juga when we started using handphones, mobile phones, we started slow, but then as people gain the trust or gain the hang of it, so it went up and up and up. Now it's just at the peak of it. Maybe belum ada a new latest technology at the moment. Okay, it means that technology baru, then the old one is just discontinued, or what you say is the obsolete lah, macam plasma TV tadi, macam flat screen TV tadi lah. For example, switch from carbon copying to photocopying. Records to compact disc. Carbon copy, ingat tak? Horse-drawn carriage. Okay, so this, yeah, yes, I can hear you.
No, doktor, tadi suara doktor lagging, tu yang saya panggil
Yes.
doktor.
Oh, okay. Now is it lagging? Yeah, okay, balik okay ke?
Okay, doktor.
Testing.
Okay, doktor, can hear doktor.
Betul. Testing. Azira dengar saya tak?
Dengar doktor.
Ya. Alright. Maybe I will off my camera lah untuk ni supaya dia tak banyak space. Okay. So you assume muka saya macam mana
Nampak muda lah.
Nampak? Betul. Okay, 10 markah untuk anda. Oh, lupa. Hari ni cuaca di sini good. Cerah, cloudy, sesuai untuk jogging yang saya tak buat lah. Yang
Itu memang
semalam saya makan
termasuk
dimsum.
kawasan perumahan rumah doktor ke?
Sorry,
Cameron lagi lah.
again, termasuk kawasan
Itu
rumah.
memang kawasan perumahan rumah doktor ke?
No, Shika, doktor masih dekat Cameron lagi.
Oh, Cameron lagi.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Am I good? Boleh ke?
Yes, doktor.
Cameron, masih di Cameron. Masih di Cameron. Tomorrow when I go, I'm going back shortly lah. Itulah. Kita punya kelas hari ni pun sekejap je because I need to go home sebab saya pun very uncomfortable dengan line ni. It's okay. Line ni okay, cuma itulah suara dia hilang-hilang here and there.
Cika dengan Nira pun dekat kursi kan.
Sejuk ni.
By the way,
Lagi
tahniah
dah
di
tengah
atas
salji.
kemenangan di Melaka ya. Pada mereka-mereka yang vote semalam, alhamdulillah bagus. Okay, chapter 3 dah habis di sini. Now, let's move on to chapter 4. Hafiz, can you hear me?
Ya doktor. Kan.
Okay, good. Alright. So, what have we talked so far? We have talked about product innovation, process innovation. Kita dah sebut yang tadi tu, technology, the S-curve. We've also highlighted those things. Okay, so now we move into what we say as the standards battle and what are the standards in the market. Okay, so what are we going to highlight? Sorry. Okay. All right. So what are we going to highlight in this chapter? We are going to highlight about what are the battles. That means when your organization comes out with a new product, a new service, a new process, you are going to face some problems because you will have the same thing or the same type of innovation elsewhere. So you need to battle, you need to fight with others as well. Okay, so there are some products which are already available in the market, tapi kalau you baru masuk, so you have to have an advantage lah. Let's take a simple example which is maybe not relevant lah, tapi we can make it relevant. Let's say for example, kalau you nak buka kedai makan, okay, so you want to open a restaurant or you nak buka kedai nasi kandar lah for example di Penang. Okay, so you have to know Penang ni dah banyak nasi kandar shops yang dah turun-temurun, dah been there for years, maybe 50-60 years. But when you want to come up with when your organization, when you want to open a new restaurant, so now you need to compete with those people who have been there for the last 50-60 years. So macam mana you nak compete with them? So these people have been there for years. So that's why kalau you tengok ada kedai-kedai baru yang available, even let's not talk about Penang, di Melaka, di Penang, di KL semua, when they want to compete with the industry, they will have to come up with new types of way in promoting their restaurant. So ada yang gunakan Facebook, ada yang gunakan buat video yang macam video gambar, things like that, yang actually food is just a food, but the way they promote it sampai macam, oh, you have to go and eat in that restaurant. So these are new types of ways you can promote your product. Okay, so in this first example, we are talking about mobile payment. Okay, mobile payment. So when this mobile payment technology came up, it was basically about 2015, 2018. Mobile payment was very famous at that time. Okay, at that time. So you can use your mobile phone and make payments. That means you just use your mobile phones and you first you do some connection or some installation, and wherever you go, you just scan your mobile phone and automatically the payments are deducted. But it was not as simple as that, because in each continent, in each country, they had their own favorite mobile payment. In Asia, they like Alipay, QR code. In India, they like M-Paisa, and so those are things. So when mobile payment system came in popular, this also gave the credit card companies some problems, because now credit card company can charge you. Now everyone is just using mobile payment. So these were some battles that needed to be talked into. But now in Malaysia, we have e-wallets. Is also another part of e-wallet pun another part of mobile payment. Okay, so that was also something to look into. Okay, so now in Malaysia kita ada e-wallet, kita ada what do we have, Touch and Go, kita ada Boost, kita ada Grab. So each of them have their own promotion. Each of them have their own way of doing things. I remember in masa saya belajar di Australia dulu, masa buat PhD, tahun 2008 onwards lah, 2008, I saw QR code over there. At that time, QR code over there was not meant for payment, tapi it was meant for sampaikan info lah. Macam sekarang ni kan kita tengok poster pun, bawah tu dia akan put QR code. For more information, please scan here. So things were there lah. So I was telling my wife, what is this QR code? Tak pernah tahu pun. So kita Google lah. Oh, QR code ni, is this? Itu je lah. But it was nothing lah. So kat Malaysia tak pernah guna. So we were not amazed with this technology. Alright. So when we came back in 2013, masih belum ada lagi. Memang ada tapi tak banyak pun. But now everywhere is QR code. Semenjak MySejahtera ni, even anywhere is QR code. You nak bayar pakai QR code, you nak information pakai QR code, masuk kursus kehadiran QR code, everything lah, anything is QR code. So some technologies might take time, but it will come eventually, but it will take time lah. Okay, so in this example, when we talk about mobile payment, there are some advantages and some disadvantages lah. Kalau you buat in developed countries, then mungkin lagi cepat lah, because the infrastructure is there. Sama juga, if you take the same question, ambil soalan yang sama ni, if we look at PDPR in developed areas lagi senang, betul, lagi senang, because the infra is there, penduduk pun much more stable, so they have the ability. But in luar bandar, in the suburbs, it's going to be in the rural areas, it's going to be very difficult. And because the infra is not there, okay, the infra tidak ada kat situ, and then the the population of people staying there, And did you know that bila, mungkin ada orang boleh membantu saya, kawasan rumah baru yang dikata macam ada Uni5 semua. So saya baru pindah rumah ni baru dalam 5 tahun lah di kawasan rumah baru ni. My neighbor who moved in about maybe 6 months ago, dia kata dia nak pasang Uni5, dia kata port penuh. But kawasan rumah saya tak ada orang pun duduk. It's still a new area, tak ramai pun duduk. Rupanya kotak putih Uni5 yang di belakang rumah, depan rumah ni, one box can only dipanjangkan kepada 6 ke 8 rumah saja. So kawan saya ni dah pindah masuk rumah, dan selang 2-3 rumah sebelah saya, dia tak ada, port dia penuh. So he complained to Telecom lah, macam mana? So the answer by Telecom is kena tunggu orang pindah, which takkan jadi, or ada permintaan lebih daripada orang, then dia akan tambah port. But on the same row, ada orang lain berpindah, port tu ada. That means dia bergantung pada kotak putih yang dekat luar tu. So what I'm trying to say is, Saya pun tak tahu apa nak cakap, tapi cuma nak highlight lah isu dia macam even if you're in a well-developed area, sometimes technology doesn't support you juga. You can be in KL ke, you can be in Rawang ke, yang these are well-developed area, but line telefon tak ada. You can be in Cameron Highland for example, semua cantik semua, but line telefon tak ada, internet connection so low. So these are the things that you need to consider when coming out with innovations of product and services, because your product might be or your service might only be applicable to one side of the market, but then again maybe keuntungan tu lebih di situ lah. Contohnya macam if you come up with macam Lala Move lah. Lala Move at the moment is more profitable to leave it in KL lah, sebab there's a high demand there as compared to kalau you letak Lala Move di Ipoh ke, belum ada demand lagi lah, belum ada demand lagi. Okay, let's look at another one here. Okay, alright, so why dominant design I selected? What is dominant design? So dominant design is actually, okay, you are looking at a specific type of design, a specific type of innovation, which is dominant, which can control the market. Okay, so when technology becomes more valuable, the more it is being adopted. Two primary sources are learning effects and network externality. Okay, that means as technology is being used every day, all right, so there are two things that you need to learn, look at. So now, for example, now everyone has, kita assume everyone has a mobile phone. Everyone has a mobile phone. So now you need, if you are coming up with new product or new innovations, you must fit this product or this service according to these mobile phones, because this is what this is what consumers have it. Okay? So you need to fit whatever you have, whatever innovation, whatever product or whatever services according to this mobile phone. Okay, so how do you do that? A firm's prior experience influences its ability to recognize and utilize new information. Okay, so if your organization has experience in developing something, experience in doing something, then it will help in coming up with new product and services. Let's say your company is doing, let's say you are working with a macam Azira kerja dengan company yang buat dialysis kan, tu. So they have experience, kita boleh katakan lah, they have experience in medical services. Okay, so for them to embark on a new type of service, it be better lah a new medical service lah. Selama ni dia orang buat dialysis, but if we were to embark on a new type of service, contohnya macam physiotherapy, okay, physiotherapy. So when you come to this, now you can come to this place, tempat kerja Azira, you can do dialysis and you can also do a physiotherapy. Okay, so this is good for them sebab mereka dah ada medical medical mindset, medical expertise, so berubah sedikit kepada physiotherapy. It's still in the medical line, tapi berubah sedikit. So they use what they have lah. What they have, staff diorang semua well trained in medical areas, so they just embark on that. Okay? Or maybe they want to embark a bit more. Mungkin diorang boleh jadi tempat untuk cucuk vaksin. Because mereka semua dah medical, they know medical terms, so they embark a bit more into into the outside, into another medical thing. Okay, so that is using prior learning lah, whatever they have before this. Okay, if you use network externality, that means you're looking at the outside world pula. Okay, the benefit from using good increases with the number of other users. Okay, for example, network externality are common in industries that are physically networked. Okay, so you look at what is outside. How can your innovation, how can your product and services be linked with the outside world? Because kita tak nak bila kita buat produk baru atau servis baru, tak ada kaitan dengan luar. Tak ada kaitan dengan luar. You buat satu makanan yang baru tapi orang luar tak makan. Okay? You buat satu servis yang baru tapi tak ada orang nak kat situ pun. Kalau orang nak, let's say in a new housing area. Kalau new housing area biasanya kedai-kedai yang buka ialah grocery, kedai makan, kedai elektrik, kedai apa namanya, mungkin kedai yang jual baldi-baldi tu. So these are relevant lah sebab ini these are housing areas, so it's relevant lah. Kalau you letak kedai contohnya macam kedai yang jual perabot-perabot yang mahal ke, ataupun things of which are unrelevant, so it's not going to sell lah. So why do you need that in this particular area? Okay, so and for another example is for many people choose to use Windows in order to maximize the number of people their files are compatible. Their files are compatible with and the range of software application they can use. Everyone buys Windows, but it's more compatible. Okay, so that's why Windows is doing well, because everyone uses that. Everyone kat luar uses that. Okay, so you have to see what kat luar tu macam mana. So you want to come up with something. So now you know everyone kat luar mostly uses mobile phones. So you have to come up with something relevant to mobile application, mobile phones. So you come up with things like this, or maybe you can do something which is can be linked back to mobile services. Okay, so these are some graphs that you need to know. Okay, let's go into theory in action. The theory in action is a scenario whereby how it started. That means we want to see how the actual product started and where has it gone to. So ini satu cerita. In 1980, Microsoft didn't have a computer, but it was dominant. Microsoft ni started the dominant program which is called the CP/M program. CP/M program is called the Control Program Monitor. That means dia buat program saja untuk control big servers. Okay, so IBM saw this opportunity and took this program, okay, and made it as what we say as MS-DOS, to buat operating system baru. Okay, and over time the operating system, the success of IBM resulted in rapid speed of MS-DOS and even more rapid proliferation of the software application designed to run MS-DOS. Microsoft later bundled it together and eventually replaced MS-DOS. So Microsoft ni pula nampak, IBM is doing well. So ambil balik produk ni dia tu, yang IBM tiru tu, dia ambil balik benda tu, dia simplifykan dia, and you get Microsoft operating system. Okay, so the idea kat sini is the first guy yang cipta CP/M program ni, he did not patent his product. Okay, he did not patent it. So that's why the argument here is, kalau dia patentkan produk dia, apa yang akan berlaku? That means now the computers were very expensive because kita kena bayar patent, but that was not patent. That's why some products go out being developed by orang lain and come back. Okay, alright. So but then over time, dominant we also have to look at government regulation lah. Okay, tak boleh lah macam there are certain government regulations whereby macam we cannot monopolize the market. Okay, we cannot monopolize the market in group of services. We have to open it to others as well. So this applies according to each country lah. Okay, alright. Why multiple dimension of values? In many increasing returns of industry, the value of technology is strongly influenced by both. Okay, so when you come up with any product and services, you have to look at the value of it. Is it technologically standalone value, or you look at the network externality? Kalau dikata standalone value means aesthetic qualities. That means dia cantik, dia, it's more of aesthetic sajalah. It does the basic necessary, macam phone biasa, it does the basic, tapi dia ada aesthetic quality. Dia ada, bila ambil gambar nampak kurus, the what you say, the pictures are very much clearer, so and it's much easier to use. So these are the aesthetic value of it. Okay, But we can also look at others as well. So Kim and Bojan has developed a map. So whenever you want to come out with a new product, you look dari segi customer productivity. You look at simplicity. Whether is it simple for customers to use, whether is it productive for customers to use, whether it's convenient, whether it's risky, whether it's fun. Okay, so some products is fun to use. Okay, macam application TikTok. Okay, it's fun to use. Okay, it does not macam TikTok ni bukannya, yeah, you can use it for so many other things, but it's basically fun to use lah, best lah. Macam game yang gambar kucing yang bila kita cakap kucing tu ikut kita, it's fun to use. Okay, maybe it can be friendly. So these are some things that you can look at, some criteria that you can evaluate your product or services. And then you also look at the external, that means what is there available outside. Okay, that are actually in use. That means what is actually in use outside. What is there available outside? And then you look at complementary goods. That means kalau user beli ini, eventually dia akan beli something else. Contohnya PlayStation. Once you buy Sony PlayStation, you akan beli game. So there are two markets kat sini. So your organisation can come in the market, in the games. So sekarang ni you nak buat game, so you dah tahu semua orang ada PlayStation. So you can come up with new games. Okay, so you can also do that. Okay, so everyone has a mobile phone, so you come up with new mobile apps. Okay, biarlah orang lain yang cipta phone lah, you tak kisah. But you are looking at coming out with new mobile applications. Okay, so when you are looking at the network externality value, you're looking at what people have. Okay, what do they have? Okay, and what are the complementary goods that will be applicable? That means everyone, mostly people have this. So it will be good if I come up with this. Everyone yang pindah kawasan ini orang-orang muda, orang-orang baru, orang-orang very young, anak sikit lagi. So you know that if you come into this market, this kawasan perumahan, kalau you buat satu tadika akan untung. Kalau you buat servis bas sekolah akan untung, sebab orang-orang kat sini orang-orang muda. Okey, anak kecil-kecil lagi. You know that if you do a kedai makan kat sini, delivery akan untung, sebab orang sini semua kerja siang malam, balik lambat, and they have no time to cook. So you know that. So these are complementary goods. So sama juga macam PlayStation. Okay, so PlayStation now dah ada PlayStation, but you need to have games. So orang lain cipta games. So those people pun Sony pun untung lah, because you are tight with them lah. Once you dah ada PlayStation, obviously you kena beli Sony punya games as well. So these are some external values that you can use when developing your new product and services. Right, so these are some other explanations. You can read it on your own. Okay, all right. So these are the questions we need to understand in this chapter. What are some of the sources of increasing returns of adoption? What are some of the example of industry not mentioned in the chapter that demonstrate increasing returns to adoption? So when you adopt something, what is your increasing value? So ada juga company yang tak cipta apa-apa, cuma dia adopt to technology sahaja. Again, we can go back to Uber and Grab and Gojek. They know that the outside market already have mobile apps. So they just come up with new mobile application. So dia ambil mobile application, dia cipta satu mobile application yang baru. So macam Grab Food is also then is complementary goods. So now everyone has a Grab application. So now I bagi satu lagi service. Grab Pay, Grab Wallet. So these are complementary. So people nak tak nak dia akan pakai jugalah. That's why now Boost is not doing so well. Sebab it's an independent by itself. Macam Touch and Go, dia dah memang ada Touch and Go. Okay. So when you have you dah boleh pakai Touch and Go card kat situ. You can use your e-wallet, you can pay bills. Macam Boost, it's independent by itself. There's nothing linked to it. You tak boleh order makanan from Boost. Grab food, you can Grab boleh, you can order kereta, you can order food. Okay, so these complementary goods will make the product or service much more better. It's much more better lah as compared to just the product by itself. Any questions so far? Kalau saya cakap sorang-sorang.
Tak ada, doktor.
Okay, betul.
Ashika, how's your cats today? I didn't see anyone jumping around.
Saya ada ni doktor, dia tengah buat hal dia.
Let's go into timing. Timing of entry. So sometimes when you come up with a new product, new service, the timing needs to be right. If the timing is not right, then maka you will not get anything. So Uber has come up with an idea of Uber Air, meaning dia orang akan deliver something using air lah, macam Uber kereta. But the idea is still being planned, and they should be able to lift off by 2023. Just imagine kalau sekarang, I don't think they will make much money lah. Okay, so when you're talking about timing, there are certain things that you need to highlight. When is the right time? Okay, so there are few types of timing of entry, and there are few advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so there are few categories. Satu yang first movers, satu early followers, satu lagi late. Okay, first movers are those yang product or services yang first time ada, tak pernah ada dah. Sebelum ni tak pernah ada, tiba-tiba ada. Maybe you have heard, I'm sure Rashidah pernah ada account Friendster kan? Pernah tak Rashidah?
Ada doktor.
Ada kan?
Dulu lah, sekarang account Friendster tu dia dah jadi, tak salah saya, jadi game platform dah saya rasa.
Game platform. Lepas tu I'm sure Hafiz tu pernah ada photo pages. Ingat lagi tak photo pages?
Benar.
Photo pages. So these are first movers. So those people yang dulu-dulu lah, I'm talking about the first mover. Kalau have you heard of TiVo? Pernah dengar TiVo? TiVo is an app, system, what do you say, application yang macam Netflix sekarang. Okay? So you can download movies, you can't download, you can watch movies for a certain price lah. So TiVo was first in the market. But over time, okay, early followers came up. So early followers yang diorang ikut je whatever the market is there, but provided much more cheaper service, better service. So those are what we say the early followers. Even Yahoo was the first follower. Yahoo dulu ada Yahoo TV, Yahoo Movies, but that was only applicable online, and the price was expensive, and adalah benda-benda lain. But now you go, so now you have paling hebat sekarang Netflix lah. So these were the early followers of those days of Yahoo TV semua. Alright, dengan foto dengan Facebook and so on. So Instagram pun they considered under early followers of photo pages. Okay, and then we also have late entrance. Late entrance ni macam Google is considered late sebab Yahoo started first, and then Ask.com started next, and then baru Google 98. Okay, so that means Google were only studied what Yahoo yang couldn't, or what Yahoo could not do, apa dia punya setbacks, and then from there baru dia move on lah. Okay, so there are certain advantage lah kalau you jadi first movers. Mungkin first movers can confirm the advantages. There are certain advantage kalau first movers ni you dapat brand loyalty. You dapat technology leadership, so orang akan selalu refer pada you. But then again, ada juga advantage, disadvantage kalau you first movers, sebab uncertainty of customer requirement. That means hari ni requirement dia macam ni. Macam Friendster dulu, itulah requirement dia. But people wanted more, so Friendster cannot go lah. So now you have Facebook and all those things. Okay. Even Facebook pun macam my niece pun dia cakap, old schoolnya pakai Facebook. They are all using Instagram semua kan. Because saya sebagai seorang uncle yang baik, saya tanyalah, what is your Facebook nama lah, name kan. So dia orang macam, Facebook, old school. Okay. Nampaknya kita old school, dia orang minta semua IG. Or what is your Twitter account? Yalah, kita baca Twitter, but I don't see the necessity of me having a Twitter account. So even di sekarang pun dah rasa perbezaan dia. So first movers ni dia ada advantage dia because high research and development. So the expense is there lah. So you are the first one yang buat benda ni, so your R&D cost is a lot. Okay, so that is the first advantage of having first movers. So these are some examples of first movers and followers and the winners. Disposable diapers. Ni lah company dia, Chucks. And then Pampers, Kimberly-Clark. And now you have so many others lah. Intel. Now you have AMD lah, macam-macam. Polaroid is the first instant. And then Kodak. And then now you have so many others. Okay. Apa lagi? Xerox was the first movers. And then you have this now. Okay, macam-macam dah. So these are some of the examples. Okay. So in terms of hydrogen economy, what is hydrogen economy? Hydrogen economy is just an idea of coming up with a new energy source and how it's all linked to one center. So that means in this center you have the wind, solar and ocean energy and biomass all masuk sini and it will be distributed accordingly. Okay, so when can this be available in the market? So now there is a question, when is this available in the market? So in order for it to be available in the market, it needs specific time. It needs to make sure that the market is ready. Sometimes you have a product, you have a service, but the market is not ready. Okay, the market is not ready. Even kalau kita ambil contoh COVID ni, your hotel, let's say you're running a hotel, your hotel can be great. Okay, you nak buat a new recovery. Let's say your hotel business is now down. Sekarang dah boleh rentas negeri, so you want to let's say you want to promote new things in your hotel, but maybe the market is not right yet. Market tu belum stable lagi. So even kalau you bagi bilik percuma ke apa ke, yes, it's good, but the market is not stable yet. Okay, maybe you need to wait. Okay, so again, timing is very, very important. All right. So let's look at when to and when, whether and when. So Will Mitchell, who is a professor in strategic management, he studied 30 years of data lah, and he came up with a few arguments and few suggestions. He said, if only one firm can produce an inimitable goods, that means a good is unusual or impossible to copy, it can enter if and when it wants. So if your company can produce something which is memang online tak dapat copy, then you can go in anytime. Kalau it's highly dah boleh copy, then you need to wait for its time. Sama juga macam Uber. Okay, Uber could not enter to certain markets sebab it was difficult. The system was not ready. Okay, so in European countries was much more simple because the system was already stable. Okay, people were all with mobile phones, and the cars were all available. In Malaysia, it took some time because people needed to learn the element of trust. How can you get a car from your mobile phone and then driver yang datang tu you tak kenal? So those are the things that you need to understand. Then if goods were highly imitable, that means goods yang boleh ditiru, firms prefer to wait while others invest in developing the market. Okay, kalau benda tu senang boleh tiru, that means semua orang they wait first. Tengok orang lain buat macam mana, so they wait. Okay, firms were more likely to enter if they had specialized assets that would be useful in the subfield or the current products were threatened in the new subfield. Okay, so if they had a specialized asset yang ada, specialized asset meaning they had something which is good, something which is a good product, okay, they will again wait because they will, sebab akan ada another company yang ada produk yang sama, so they might be orang kata threatened lah. Okay, so what he's trying to say is imitable products are inimitable. Kalau you kata if you have an inimitable product yang susah ditiru, then resource is difficult to imitate, then a resource is imitable, then he says you can come into the market at any time. A tablet computer has been around for years. Dah lama dah punya tablet ni, saya pun baru tahu. iPad cuma mempopularise, is that the word? iPad is the first product which popularized the tablet computer. Tablet computer has been around for many years. Okay, when iPad came out, then only everyone started to because for the first tablet computer came out in 1989. Okay, palm computing yang dulu banyak kontraktor pakai lah, yang tulis-tulis kan. So that was, it was then, it was not so popular then. Tapi when iPad came out, sebab dia cantik, semualah, everyone wanted to follow it. Alright, let's see. Oh, dah habis dah. Okay. To have more choices in its timing of entry, a firm needs to be able to develop the innovation early or quickly. With fast cycle development process can be both early entrant and quickly refining its innovation in response to customer feedback. In essential, a firm with very fast cycle development processes can reap both first and second mover advantage. So what are they trying to say? Point number one, you need to be fast. Innovate fast. First, you need to be fast. You need to enter the market fast. But some products can wait. Okay, some products can wait. Because sometimes the market is there. Kalau market is there ni senang je. Saya bagi contoh yang kawasan rumah baru. The market is there. So if you don't come up with that, if you don't come up with a service or product for that new taman, then you are losing lah. Okay. But sometimes you can wait and see. Boleh. That means you biarlah tengok orang dah masuk taman tu ke. Because some housing areas initially ramai masuk, lepas tu tak ramai masuk dah. Ramai masuk. Okay. Macam speed mart. Now saya rasa every corner di Malaysia ada speed mart. I think everyone will agree with me. Every corner ada speed mart. Because they know akan ada orang yang datang kedai dia orang. So when I read the proposal about, saya pernah terbaca proposal about speed mart, cara-cara diorang nak buka. Not only they target kawasan perumahan itu, even workers kat situ pun datang kepada kawasan perumahan tersebut sahaja. So they will not only come and give goods and services to the kawasan perumahan, but they also give work opportunities for those staying nearby. So that's a good thing lah. And then they provide services macam you boleh pakai QR code, card semua. So orang kat situ is self-contained. Mereka tak payah pergi bank nak beli duit, nak keluarkan duit untuk bayar produk and service. So everyone is there. So those are good product and service. Then they wait for the right timing to enter. So what this chapter is saying, the timing of entry is always necessary for any product or services. Some you can be the first movers. Some you can be the second movers. You can just see how the first one did it, what was wrong, and imitate balik and start back in a new environment. Okay, so what this chapter was talking about is the timing. So timing needs to be right at the right place, right time. Okay, so any product or any services need to be implemented or need to be innovated fast and at the right time, right place. Okay, so do you have any questions for me today? Azira ada soalan? Shika ada soalan? Okay, alright. I have to leave you again today. Hari ni kita buat kelas 1 hour je. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some case study questions by tomorrow or tomorrow or Tuesday. So this case study questions tak payah nak tulis, tak payah nak orang kata type ke apalah. Kalau you nak buat slide tu up to you lah. But it's a group case study question. Okay, group case, sorry. Group ke individual? Sorry lah, saya tak ingat group ke individual, saya tak ingat lah.
Group kata.
Group okay, sorry. Group individual, group case study questions. So you are supposed to just discuss within your group. If you want to do a slide, go ahead. And in the next class, we will discuss about this case study questions. Okay, case study question. Case study ni you tak payah nak submit lah. That means you just discuss dalam kelas je. Kita discuss macam biasa je. So that means you and your partner has already discussed about certain topic, certain questions, you dah bagi example semua. So in class, we will just discuss about it. And if there's any questions from other groups, kita discuss saja. Itu saja. So your marks will be evaluated based on your discussion, based on your points, itu saja. And if you want to present dalam masa, let's say, buat slide dalam mungkin 2-3 slide, go ahead, boleh saja. Kalau tak nak buat pun tak apa juga. As long as you and your partner have just discussed about it, there's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. We just want to see the points discussed, and we want to see maybe good examples, perhaps good examples. Itu saja yang kita nak tengok. Okay. Alright, so I will give you those questions maybe by tomorrow or Tuesday lah. Okay, Rashika okay? Geling kiri, geling kanan.
Okay, doktor.
Okay. Azira okay? Fazrin?
Okay, doktor.
Fahmi? Fahmi? Arash okay? Hafiz okay?
Okay.
Okey, doktor.
Right. Kenapa awak semuanya macam tak ceria?
Ceria.
Lapar mungkin.
Sebab background Google Meet ikut doktor macam suram je.
Betul. Itulah kita mengharapkan ada kucing-kucing ke, tapi tak ada pun. Okay. Alright, so we will stop again to the awal hari ni. Jangan risau. We will not stop awal-awal macam ni, okay? Ini hari-hari ini jenis-jenis kecemasan saja. So next week you go on your break and then you come back. You come back on the following. You come back on the 4 hari bulan. 4 hari bulan, okay? So your case study nanti saya akan bagi. Jangan stress pasal case study ni, is very very simple questions. Macam soalan-soalan tadi saja. There's no right or wrong. Kalau boleh and not kalau boleh. If it's best if you can put in your experience, your company punya experience, your organisation punya experience. Kalau Rashidah, I know you are in the PTD office. Maybe you can talk about your services that you provide, the services that your kementerian provides. Okay. Kalau macam Azira, you're working in a dialysis organisation kan? So maybe you can talk about your process you are doing there. How can you innovate your process? Macam tu, things like that. Banking industry memang banyak lah. Okay. Arash pun sama, you can talk about how to promote, what is the best, macam, if you given opportunity, macam mana nak promote, how do you bersaing dengan orang kat luar tu. Fazrin pun sama. You're working in Perkeso, banyak bagi services. So how do you, macam mana Perkeso keep up with orang kat luar, macam mana Perkeso sampaikan info if you have a new product, a new service. Macam mana Perkeso sampaikan info ni kepada luar. Or maybe there are new innovations yang Perkeso bakal buat, things like that. You'll be surprised Sebelum saya berhenti ni, saya bagi satu case study yang one of my students dulu buat. Dia buat study pasal TNB punya mobile app. Okay. Have you heard of TNB punya mobile app? Pernah terdengar ke pernah tengok tak? TNB punya
Pernah selalu guna doktor.
okay, selalu guna. TNB punya mobile app ni macam ya, kita boleh check bill kita, benda-benda tu usage, boleh bayar. But surprisingly Fazrin dengan Fazrin, that app ni tak ramai yang gunakan. So bila diorang study, TNB study balik benda ni, rupanya people are not worried about that app pun. People still nak bill tu sampai ke rumah juga. And the promotion of that app tu tak sampai. Promotion untuk app tu tak sampai. That means there is no, orang kata tak ada advantage pun kalau you ada app ke you tak ada app. Macam saya pun, saya tak pakai pun app tu. I use TNB e-services online tu, pakai tu je bayar bil. Ataupun bayar bil pakai Maybank to you je. Bil memang sampai rumah. Bila tengok harga dia, kecut perut sikit lah kan bila tengok Allahu Akbar. Itu je lah. Lepas
Macam doktor just nak share lah, macam billing-billing ni kan, untuk pembayaran ni kalau kita tengok senior citizens lah, macam parents kan, they prefer untuk bayar over the counter lagi.
yes, correct.
Even kita dah kata bayar online je, tapi dia still macam prefer untuk bayar over the counter lah.
Betul. Jangan you talking about parents. My neighbor sebelah rumah pun masa pandemik lah tak boleh keluar kan. So dia bagi saya cash, dia kata tolong bayarkan online. So saya dapatlah profit RM2 kan. Satu bayar bil tu saya dapat RM2. So dia bayar. So dia bayar sebab dia kata dia tak tahu. Dia tak kisah pun dia tak tahu. You know, dia bukan dia tak tahu, dia tak kisah pun dia tak tahu.
Betul.
Okay, alright. I will see you in the next class. Thank you so much for attending today. Pergilah makan, bagi ceria sikit muka itu. Alright. Tahniah di atas pelantikan kemenangan di negeri Melaka kepada mereka-mereka yang telah vote. Alhamdulillah. Harapnya tiada lagi tidak percaya lah.
Menang besar
Okay.
tu.
Alright. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Kalau nak strawberry datanglah. Celama. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Salam.
Thank you, doktor.
Thank you doktor.
Alright, see you. Bye.
Okay.
Dia tinggal kita gitu je. Bye.